Hey everyone! Today's hair idea is just a quick holiday-inspired crown braid. This is sort of a throwback to a video I did a few years ago called the Grecian braid wheel, but since this one reminds me of a wreath, I thought it might be a festive style to wear to Christmas parties. I started by spraying and brushing in a light leave-in conditioner for flyaways, and then divided my hair horizontally into two pieces right at the occipital bone. For now, I'm clipping the top portion up and out of the way before splitting that lower half straight down the middle. I chose to start on the right by gathering a small section from below my ear. This is going to be a mini French braid which will move from the outside inwards to that vertical part. I'll admit that this may feel a bit awkward in terms of hand position, but my rationale with this detail is that it'll frame the bottom of the updo once it's all pinned up. However, if you find this to be a little too difficult, you can always make simple 3-strand braids, because they will in fact work just as well. Obviously, the steps are the same on the left side, and should you need a braid refresher, I'll have my Braidtionary linked in the description as always. The next step involves making another thin horizontal section, but this time it's at the front of the head. I sped through this a bit, but should say that I did take some time here because I think it's important to make straight and even lines with this. Again, I'm clipping that up so that I can make my next partings, which are done vertically into the sides. This leaves me with a somewhat rectangular area of hair on the back of my head. It's easiest to work on this first, and all I'm going to do is make another French braid. When all the loose hair had been locked in, I took the middle strand and split it into two. These two pieces are then combined into both of the side strands. I guess you could think of this as the opposite of a combination braid because the 3 strands are divided to make 2 entirely new braids. So for now in the style, you should have 1 French braid down the back of your head and 4 small ones in the length. The top portion is probably the most complicated. Not that you have to be an advanced stylist to pull this off, it's just a bit more involved than what's been done so far. I parted my headband section down the center, and for now I'm clipping back the right side. Starting on the left, I sectioned a slice of hair that extended from the center parting down to my ear. This is where I'll start my next French braid. As you can see, this too may end up feeling a little peculiar because you start with a wide section, but as you add hair in, the space tapers. I know for myself I'm pretty accustomed to starting my braids in a more narrow section, which then extends into a wider one. But it's the same as any normal French braid with strands being added into either side and folded over one another. When all the hair had been brought in, I continued to braid, but now I've angled it and my hands to the opposite side. It's important to note that the braid isn't attached to the head in the space over the crown. It only gets anchored down again when you get all the way over to the temple. As you can see, I unclipped that side parting on the right and I'm incorporating that hair in, but this time it's a lace braid. This means that I'm pulling whole pieces of hair into only 1 strand, and in this style, it's the strand closest to my face. It's the same motion on the other side. You start with a French braid that goes from wide to slim, and when the hair from the headband section is all tied in, you continue to braid while directing your hands to the opposite side of the head. Since I started on the right here, that means I'm moving to the left. After releasing that small side section, the braid is then anchored back to the head as a lace, with those pieces being added to the outside strand. The result should be that there are 2 thick braids that cross and intersect just at the crown, and with that it's just a matter of pinning everything up into place. Obviously, you can do this any way you want, but I like to work in tiers. I began with the main braids first by curving them and securing them with ordinary bobby pins. For now, I'm not going to worry about the ends sticking out. Next were the braids from the French on the back of my head. I particularly liked how they formed a scallop sort of shape near the nape. That was a happy surprise, and then lastly were the 2 horizontal ones at the base of my neck. Bringing your attention back to the last braids we made, I tucked all the ends under the X shape at my crown with a few U-pins. Hopefully now it makes a little more sense as to why I kept them free hanging in that area during the braid building. They create a perfect space for hiding anything that remains. And with that, the look is complete. I hope you all enjoyed today's hair idea. I'd love to see any and all recreations, so if you give this a go, tag me on Insta or Snapchat. I absolutely love when you share your work with me. Anyway, thank you for watching, and until next time, have fun and keep braiding. Bye!